Hello everyone, welcome back to my class. Today we'll be diving into two essential basic DAX functions in Power BI. So one is SUMX, another one is SUM. Okay, so we'll explore SUM and SUMX. I mean their descriptions, syntax, the differences, and we'll see how it works in Power BI. So first, let me load the data set. So here I have a product data set, sample data set. So here I'm going to give the name as products, and then I'm loading it so we can yeah, it's loading. Okay, so here we can see the data set. So let's take a look at our data set first. So it's about products. So they have 6 products from mobile, laptop, tablet, headphones, smartwatch, and desktop, and its prices in USD and the number of quantities sold in their shop. Okay, so here uh, we are going to see how we can use sum and SUMX function here. Okay, so before that, so what I'm going to do here is uh, first I'm going to find the total sales. Okay, total sales for each product, that is quantity sold into price for mobile. Okay, so to find the total sales for mobile, I have to multiply this price into quantity sold. So before calculating sum and SUMX, I'm going to create a new column called sales. Okay, let's see how we can create that. So here you can see the new column, and it will ask the DAX function. It will ask the DAX function. So I'm going to give the column name as sales. Okay, so the DAX function is, the formula is, sorry, we can cut this. So the column name, the column name is sales, and the formula is, for mobile it is price into quantities sold, right? So I'm going to give this column names. Okay, so how we can access column names in Power BI? By giving its table name. Okay, here the table name is product, so I'm going to type products first. So here it is, the table, and it shows the column names also. So the column name I want to multiply uh, so I want to multiply 2 columns. One is price USD and another one is product of quantities sold. Okay, so this will multiply these 2 columns, okay, for each row. So I'm gonna hit enter. So here you can get results. The total sales of mobile, laptop, okay, for everything here. So now I have the sales. Okay, so now I want to find the total sales. Okay, so for total sales, right, we have to add all the details, all the numbers in the sales column, right? All the sales price in sales column, then we will get total sales. Okay, so in this case, we can use the SUMX function. Okay, but when we create some function, it is a measure. We can't create it as a column. Okay, so I'm going to create a new measure. Okay, new measure. It will ask the same DAX function. So the measure name, I'm going to give it as total sales. Okay, so the formula is, here I'm going to use sum function. Okay, so before using sum function, let's see what sum function does. Okay, so the sum function, it's a straightforward DAX function. Okay, so it adds up all the numbers in a column. Okay, in a single column. For example, here it should add all the values in the sales column. Okay, so the general syntax for sum is sum of column name. Okay, so the syntax, according to the syntax we can write, so it should be like, it should starts with sum of column name, right? So how we should access column names in Power BI along with the table name. So I want to calculate the total values of this sales, total value of sales. Okay, so here sum of product sales. Okay, so what it does, it will add all the values in the sales column. I'm going to hit enter. So see, the total sales has been created. We can visualize it in cards. We can visualize this value in cards. Okay, so total sales, I'm going to drag and drop to this field. So it's 362K. Okay, so this is about total sales. Okay, so to calculate the total sales, what I did first, I created a column. I created a column called sales. Okay, using operators. See, using this multiplication operator, I multiplied these two columns and then I got sales. And now I got sales. From here, I added all the values to get the total sales. Right. For that, I have created a DAX measure. I've created a measure again using sum function. Okay. So the same problem, okay, the same total sales, we can calculate using SUMX function also, but in one step. Okay, in this way, we took two steps, right? Calculating sales column first and then again calculating total sales. So in one step we can achieve that. Okay, let's see how. Okay, before using the SUMX function, let's see what SUMX function does. Before using SUMX function, mm, before using SUMX function, let's see what SUMX function does. Okay, so this SUMX is an iteration function. Okay, it means it evaluates an expression for each row in the table and then it add all the values. Okay, uh, and its syntax is SUMX of a table name followed by an expression. Okay, so here the expression is price into quantities sold. Okay, let me write the SUMX function and then you will understand. So SUMX, this is also a new measure. So the measure name is again, I'm going to give this as total sales without underscore. I'm going to give it as overall sales. Okay, so it should start with SUMX. So based on the syntax, we should type the table name first. So it's products, right? Followed by an expression. What is an expression? Price, quantity sold, right? So products of price multiplied with products of quantities sold, right? So in the previous SUMX function, I did this separately, right? I did this separately and then I've added all the values. But here in SUMX function, it will do everything. One second. Here, this expression, the product of price into products of quantities sold, it will be evaluated for each and every row. Okay, so and then all the resulted values will be added using the SUMX function. Okay, so I'm gonna hit enter. Okay, So the same total sales value should be there in overall sales measure. Let's check. So the overall measure has been created here. Let's visualize that. Okay, I'm gonna put it here. Again, new card. So the total, the new measure that we have created using SUMX is overall sales. So I'm going to drag and drop here. See, this is using the sum function. Okay, we have created sales column first, and then we used sum function here in one step using SUMX function. Okay, but the difference is you won't get sales column when you use this SUMX function. Okay, so if you want to add this particular sales column in the table, okay, you can use this uh, uh, no. So the one difference between the sum and SUMX is here you can see the sales value, sales column, but if you apply directly the SUMX function, the sales column, that is this multiplication value will not be added here in the column, but you will get the final value, that is the total sales.